watching some interviews. I think it was Joe Budden talking to Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
And sparked a conversation. I think a dope conversation.
Right.
That was just kind of a little. That's bigger than rap, but related to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and the question that I guess the conversation was just surrounding the idea that we're seeing this surge of female rappers, and we're really seeing a surge of female, like, women empowerment.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. Like, women are fighting for equal rights, equal pay.
Yeah.
It seems like women are trying to reclaim something now. You know, that you sense that, you feel it, and it almost seems like there's a new kind of feminism that which is what we're hearing.
Yeah.
And what I think we're hearing, and a lot of these, the female rappers' songs. So I think we were just talking about, like, what's good, and what could be challenging about what's happening with female rappers. Maybe it's a question. What's good? Maybe let's start with what's good about what we're seeing.
Of course,
we always looking for, like, what the redeemable factor.
Right.
The
exactly.
wicked are more shrewd. Jesus always kind of even identified, here's what's good.
Right.
About the wicked, or people that are. I'm still more
out there.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
people that are out there.
Right. But no, I think you're right, bro. I like it, dog. Like, I like. Obviously, what I like is seeing women, girls, even feeling empowered. I'm trying to find a different word. Yes, empowered, but it's a sense of, like, momentum. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's like, I like to see this energy and this momentum being rode, right? Like, riding this wave, screaming and yelling something that they shouldn't even be fighting for. When you think about it, like, that's crazy that you have to fight for equal pay. Like, that's a weird concept, that you have to fight to be seen and acknowledged. You know what I mean? So what I like about it is that. Now, the tricky thing in terms of, in the rap community, what I like about it, now this may be a little taboo because I'm a Christian, right? But I like that, like, you're hearing the female perspective on these topics that we normally hear in rap music. One in particular, sexuality, bro.
From men, you mean?
From men. You typically always hear men talking about their sexuality and that bravado, sometimes that toxic masculinity, you know what I mean? And it becomes disrespectful. Now, granted, some of the girls are matching that now, right? Like, you that, I'm that, right?
Right.
But in a strange, weird, low-grade way, I like it, bro. What I like about it is this. I like that that women are, when you hear it, mostly, when you hear it coming from a female rapper, it's set in context of building something.
Okay.
Like, I think I was listening to, it was either Dreezy or a girl named Tink. It might have been both of them. But I was listening to both their albums, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, it's questionable content on the records, facts. But when you hear them talking about their sexuality, it was always in the context of building a relationship, right? Like, it wasn't in, like, this flippant, haphazard way that men typically talk about their sexuality. It was just, I ain't building nothing. I'm out here doing me to my own destruction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when the female was using her sexuality to talk, to woo, to sway, it was, at least in their records, it was, let's have something. Let's have a family. You know what I'm saying? I got you, you got me. I like that that's challenging the male mindset. The male mindset is spread abroad, right? We ain't trying to build nothing by default.
Okay.
So what I see in that is a redemptive flash of light. I'm not saying the light is shining for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But there's a redemptive flash of light there that I think helps in the conversation when I'm talking to a dude that's not a Christian, that's just out here. He out here living his worst life / best life. You know what I mean? I like that I can use the popularity of the female rapper in the redemptive way in which some are discussing this thing that is all too true to human nature, sexuality in general. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part where I'm noticing first and foremost is just this sense of that's part of my womanhood, but I have it in context. And I just don't think guys are maturing in a way where we value that fast enough.
So
we're becoming more reckless longer. Like dudes waiting till they get 30 and 50 to get married, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and you talking about staying pure till you 50, bro? Come on, bro. So I like that at least is getting a lot of these girls are challenging the guy, right? Like to have me and all of me, let's build something. Now, obviously,
do you think they're setting that as a prerequisite, or you think they just see that as they see sex as part of, like, this is a prerequisite to you? Like Beyonce was like years ago, obviously, but you know, what she say? If
the ring on it, if you like it.
If you like it, put a ring on it.
Right.
That seemed like a prerequisite. Now I don't know if it was if you like it, we had sex already.
Right.
Put a ring on it, or
you
know. But I just think, like, if you just take it at face value and look at it from a cursory perspective, it just seems like she's like, this is a prerequisite to having the whole of me.
Right. Yeah.
All of me. So is what we're getting, is that what you think the trend is? That this is a prerequisite, or do you think it's just that intuitive, I'm wired, I'm built for family? Like the woman just has that sense of family in a way that men don't, particularly in our culture. And she's just saying, she's not thinking prerequisite. She's not thinking this is a stipulation. She's just thinking, she's just thinking, she's not thinking promiscuously. She's not thinking like being loose. She's thinking, nah, I want to do this with you as long as
it's us.
It's us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I do think Beyonce started the wave, right, with that song in particular, and a bunch of other songs where she was highlighting.
That's true. Yeah.
Coming alongside of her man and supporting him, building him up as they both share and build something. So I think she kind of started that, at least in the music realm, for this generation, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And so backtrack, we're all made in the image of God, and there are things that remain on us that remain instinctive because of that reason, but because of the fall, it's whacked out.
Right.
Some would even say the image is gone. Right. Marred nonetheless.
Right.
Right.
At least marred.
So I think, bringing it back to context, I think it's a little bit of both. So I think when you're hearing it in a rap music from a female perspective, part of it may not be prerequisite to marriage. Part of it may be like, if we could just be together now, if we can build something. Right. And then I think some girls in rap are thinking about marriage as well. You know what I mean? So I
think a lot of them are. I mean, they're getting married.
Right, they're getting married.
Nicki, Cardi, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I like that they're putting necessary pressure on the man to kind of snap out of it. So if it's the marred, fallen version where it's not a prerequisite to marriage, I think it still gets the conversation going in the right direction, in a way that the guy is not thinking. Right. Yeah. He's just some dudes. I had like maybe like one friend that wanted to get married when we was young. Right. And maybe one. But none of the dudes I grew up with ever talked about marriage. Now girls think about marriage like out the womb. Two. You know what I'm saying? But maybe one, bro. Right. So I'm thinking it's a shadow, but nonetheless I like that the rappers, the female rappers, are bringing that discussion to the table in a bold way. You know what I'm saying? And it's provocative, and it's making the guys think about it. The flip side is, right, young girls processing that apart from this information, apart from the Christian worldview.
Right.
So when the young girls hear it, or they hearing the healthy side of it,
right?
Or is this just like
another dude that could be the one that they just
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's
I wonder like, so I need to. You gotta Google. We gotta Google them lyrics because I haven't personally heard any female rappers that have taken that, like even like from Nicki to Cardi, like they're married, and maybe they talk different now. I'm not sure, but every time I've heard it, to me it's like they're lashing out. Like this is a protest.
Yeah.
Like,
what's your concern? Oh, not concern, but
well, my concern is not with feminism necessarily.
Yeah.
And I know feminism is nuanced. There are layers to it, and a lot of people mean different things. But we understand feminism can be dangerous when the moment you stop thinking complementarian in a complementarian way. I think things can get dangerous. You know, it's like me over you or you over me in any context, whether that's the man thinking in a chauvinistic way, lording over the woman, or vice versa. Like the woman feeling like, y'all, where anything you can do, I can do better.
Right.
You see what I mean? I do it better than you. So I think all that gets muddy and dangerous, and the implications of it. But I think what I'm hearing and from the females in hip hop is a very cold, disconnected sexual experience, like leave the money on the nightstand when you're done. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Swing into the other pendulum.
Yeah, it's the other extreme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like with regards to like sex and sexuality, and I'm also seeing like the promiscuity. Let's just say it's not in. Let's just say some of the artists that you're talking about are like not promiscuous in thinking like I'm going to be loose. I'm gonna be slutty. And just give myself to every man that gives me attention or whatever. Even if they're not what was I gonna say? I was gonna say even if they're not that's what it was. Even if they're not like thinking that way. I mean, even if they're not saying like applying that to their sex lives. They do it in other ways. So every stage they twerk. Maybe not Tink.
No, I know what you mean.
Tink is different.
Right. The people you got in mind, basically.
The people I have in mind, right. When they get on stage, they twerk. You know what I mean? Like there is like I can wear what I want. Like you know what I'm saying? Like who can tell me? Nobody can tell me how to dress. Yeah. You see what I mean? So like I can see the danger in it. And that they're opponent, like you said, for my daughters, like they're not gonna filter through all of those. True. They don't have all those filters. Maybe a more mature woman, might have all those filters, but the audience that they appeal to, I don't know if they have all those filters to say. Oh, I understand what she's saying. Like,
no, I get that, and it's weird. And even what I'm saying now may not be as helpful. But what it makes me think about is understanding where a people group is in time and space. So I feel like we're seeing this pendulum swing for a reason. Like it's like it's the combustion of a group of people that have been silenced for so long. So that's why
it's a revolt.
It makes me want to pause. And if I just speak down on it, like just because I recognize that it's unhelpful or sinful or wrong without acknowledging the context of it. Like that's why they're acting out like this, because of the backdrop, the context, the years of, like I was watching a TED
Talk.
Oppression. You know what I'm saying? I was watching a TED Talk, and there was a group of ladies that were talking about, even when you look in a dictionary and the way it describes sexual intercourse is from the male's perspective. And she was just like, why is that what defines what it is? Like, so my contribution is
Right.
the afterthought. You know what I'm saying? And just that fine-tuned point, you know what I'm saying, was a concern for her. So for me, when you just seeing all these conversations showing up and women stepping up like, hear us, hear us, hear us, I get that, you know, even in context of like race. So just recently I did a camp, and it was with about say 70 to 100 different First Nation, or we call them Native Americans, but they from all over the world, so they call First Nation tribes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so number one, I was just like almost in tears to see this, you know, collection of people. Like you just don't see First Nation people regularly at
Right.
Walmarts and
Right.
media.
They in their own world.
They in their own world. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't get to hear their pain, their story. So to be there and to hear the stories and the history, like it strikes you in a certain kind of way. Now they obviously have certain issues that they're dealing with on, you know, in alcoholism,
their own vices.
Yeah, their own vices.
Yeah.
But when you set it in context and allow yourself to feel it, I think it helps you engage differently. You know what I mean? So
Right.
even though I see the extreme end on some of the lyrics coming from the mainstream female rappers,
Yeah.
I understand that it's this sense of now we have a voice.
Right.
And we about to tell you how we been feeling,
Yeah.
how we been treated,
Yeah.
why we ain't getting equal pay, why when we say something it's taken as she probably put herself out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like
You sympathize with that.
right now. I don't know how helpful it is in terms of
Right. I understand.
but I think to me that's the deciding factor in how to engage other people. Like, ain't that the thing we
I agree.
always
I
saying
agree.
is
Yeah.
be sensitive to,
Right.
or understand.
Yeah.
And it's like, though it's a small point, is huge. Like
Right.
for example, right? So I took a class on the Crusades. At the end of the course, the professor asked us, as Christians, should we bear the brunt, the pain, and the reputation of what the Crusaders caused in the past? Right? And we feel like that don't have nothing to do with
Right.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but when we chose to carry the name Christ, we also chose to carry the baggage
Right.
that came along with it. You know what I'm saying? So what it causes you to do as a Christian when you're engaged in the Islamic world is to be sensitive to what baggage you have underneath the banner of Christ, how that relates to them. You know what I'm saying? So I go in sensitive, knowing like just the fact that I'm saying I'm a Christian doesn't make me, and I may think I'm African American and Christian. I don't have nothing to do with
Right,
what they
right.
did in Rome
Right.
as Christians, but it's like, nah, bro, like you bear the name.
Right.
So you still, should I carry some of that guilt of what my ancestors caused, my Christian ancestors? I think the sensitivity helps me engage the Islamic community,
Yeah.
even if I'm coming in with things that I disagree with,
Yeah.
things that I'm going to say God has a problem with.
Yeah.
When I put my own self in my contribution in context, it causes me to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, in terms of considering where women are today, and as a man, my contribution to their pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I may not have ever done anything to hurt a girl, right?
Right.
I wish I could say that, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But the point is, just as a man, I represent something to them that I should be sensitive to. So when I think of like the rise of the female rapper and the swing to the other pendulum, I almost think, man, let me watch how I say
Let me
and
not
critique this.
Make a beeline.
Let me not
to
make
what's wrong with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because all they might hear is
Where can
another
I-
man
right.
telling me,
Right.
sit down, shut up, do
Right.
it this way. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Affirming their grievance.
Right.
Affirming the place that this backlash comes from.
Yeah.
Is important to, is critical to the conversation.
Facts.
You know,
Yeah.
it may even remove the barrier.
Right.
Between not just a Christian and a non-Christian, but a male and a female.
Yeah.
I think that Jesus this is what he dealt with. Like, he was moving in a context where all of this was happening.
Yeah.
You know, like all of this, you know, the chauvinism, the systemic oppression, from male, even, you know, Jews, it was ethnic, it was, you know, gender, it was generational, it was the whole thing.
Which is the stuff he said, there's no more male, female, Jew.
Exactly.
He understood that.
He understood. So he turned all of that on his head.
Yeah.
The woman comes and washes his feet with her tears.
Yeah.
All the men in the room threw a fit.
Right.
Remember the disciples? He's talking to the Samaritan woman by the well, and they're like, "What you doing talking?" Like,
right.
Like we don't get it. Like,
yeah, facts, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think Jesus was very sensitive, you know, to that plight, you know, for anybody, not just ethnic groups, but anybody who was bearing up under the weight of oppression.
Yeah.
And taking all of that into consideration,
right?
He knew how to gingerly deal with each of them. You know what I mean? So I get your point. Yeah. And again, it's that tension of it's living right in the middle of being cognizant and aware of where they come from, why they are the way that they are right now. You know, the part of what they're fighting for that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
While at the same time, you know, like, you know, maybe in many instances bringing to their awareness how what they're doing and what they're communicating in their music and in their behavior is detrimental and even poisonous to the generation.
Right. And it's going to come and can come back and bite you.
Come back and bite you.
When you're looking for a quality man. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So it's like you're not helping your cause. I get it.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And I do think that one of the most helpful things that we can do as men, is be good, strong, godly men, caring, nurturing, creating environments that are easy to exist in, fairness, right?
Yeah.
And then helping bring up other men the same way. So that women can have good men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making that cool, making that swaggy.
Yeah.
And that's what a dope gift to give a community of people, aka women, is solid men that get it, love and kind and patient, and just create an environment for them that's easy to exist in. You feel me? So they can flourish, because women are uniquely gifted, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's majestic.
Yeah.
And it's a certain gifting and a reflection of God's nature that we see in womanhood that is to stand in awe of, that men just do not possess, bro. We do in another beautiful way.
Right.
But in the way that they do, it's like,
sheesh. We don't. Yeah.
And lastly, it make me think about when God cursed Eve to have to submit to the man. It's like, I bet you that was a curse because of who she was.
Right.
Like she must have been so something.
Right.
That the punishment was, now you got to submit to this guy.
Right.
And it's like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Right. To make that a thing.
Yeah.
There was a loss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what was womanhood before?
Dope insight. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's up.
Things I never said.
Make sure you hit that notification bell after you subscribe. You don't want to miss this complicated-ish.